Good day and welcome to the Travel With Us a While podcast, where I have conversation with travellers by sea, air, land and beyond. Today I'm talking to Tash Capel. Sometimes the bravest adventurous decision isn't to push on, it's to pause, listen and learn, and admit I'm not ready yet. Today's guest caught my attention with a post she shared on a hiking group after travelling to Tasmania. With plans to walk the famous Overland Track, instead of pushing through despite concerns around experience, fitness, and the realities of hiking in tougher conditions, she made the difficult decision to step back, rethink, and choose safety over pride. Her honesty struck me, because social media often celebrates reaching the summit, completing the trail, or conquering the challenge, but we hear less about the wisdom in changing plans. Tash's story is about humility, learning, resilience, and respecting nature enough to know your own limits. It is also about the generosity of experienced hikers who share knowledge, even when the conversations are uncomfortable. So, if you've ever dreamed of hiking, wondered where to start, doubted your abilities, or worried whether you were ready, this conversation may be exactly what you need to hear. So grab a cuppa, settle in, and join us as we chat with Tash about the first-time hiking dreams, lessons learned, and why sometimes the greatest adventure is making the decision that gets you safely back to try again another day. Tash, welcome. And what more can I say? Over to you.
Thank you so much, Bron. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. You've put everything that went through my mind perfectly out into the open there. I am a new adventurer, and I'm somebody that is taking a great pride and exhilaration in getting out and about into our beautiful nature. In Australia, we are blessed in Australia too.
Oh my word. I totally agree.
And one thing, as I'm maturing in this hiking space, I'm realizing that there's more power in investing in myself, in my betterment of fitness, betterment of knowledge of terrain, understanding of weather patterns, and truly giving myself the gift of knowledge before setting out on an adventure. And when you mentioned, taking a bow to my ego, you absolutely picked me. That's exactly what happened. I had this grand idea of taking part in the Overland Track because a friend of mine did it many, many years ago. And I thought to myself, yep, I'm going to see wombats, I'm going to see pademelons, I'm going to experience what our First Nations people have protected. I'm going to be able to experience all these different valuable things without considering my own capability level. And if something was to, heaven forbid, if something was to happen to me then putting rescuers in danger or other people that may be on the track at the same time needing to deal with me. And taking myself out of my own mind and out of my own ego was entertaining from my friends and family. I think they started with, Tasha, are you sure you're ready for this? Just being polite and of course me thinking well ahead of my actual capability level was thinking, yeah, no, it'll be fine. I'll definitely be able to do it in May. And then I joined.
She'll be right, mate. She'll be right.
Exactly. You got me in one. She'll be right. And to take pause and step into the social media side of Facebook, where they've got the Overland Track hikers groups and Tasmania Hobart walking groups, like to actually step in and take a moment to be vulnerable with everybody in those groups, trusting that they can take my vulnerability without, like I had a fear of people badgering me or like having a go and calling me a wuss or something. But I thought, no, let's do this for safety for all of the different reasons mentioned. So I just put it out there to the general public. I'm like, hey, if anybody who has experience in doing the Overland Track, not just doing it, but doing it in May, let me know. And I had literally hundreds of people replying, some going like, throw caution to the wind, Tash, you'll be fine, but others actually daring to have that vulnerable and hard conversation with me. There's some ladies and gentlemen in that group that were saying, hey, check on your local tracks first by carrying a pack worth 20 kilos, see if you can do it for 10 kilometers. That, you know what? I feel silly, but that thought hadn't even entered my mind.
Ah.
Yeah, I know. Silly, right? But
no, not really.
Well, when you think about it, like you might be packing, say, 15 to 17 kilos for the 8 6 to 8 days that you're planning on being out there. If you're a photographer like me, like you might want to take a bit of your gear along or like other things. So for me to then actually physically walk with my backpack around the local terrain, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do it. I can do it with 17 kilos. But then when I started getting into rock scrambles and, ditches that are more than a meter wide or like traversing over roots and things like that at a quick pivot, I realized very quickly that, hang on, this isn't my capability level. Let's be real. So what I decided to do is, a hat in hand, send an email to Parks Tasmania, and I said to them, look, I've already paid the fee to the parks, but to do the Overland Track, but I was wondering if I could have a refund on that. And they were able to give me I think approximately 50 to 75% refund because I gave them enough time and warning that I was pulling out. And then I asked them, like, is it cool if I still do a little recon? Like my dad used to teach me, my dad's ex-army, so he would teach us as kids to go check out the area first and see what you're actually up for. So I decided to still go to Tassie. I'm a Victorian, so I went to Tassie and I stayed in local accommodation and did the tracks in and around Cradle Mountain, Lake Sinclair. Like I still did parts of the track, which was exhilarating in itself, but it absolutely drilled home to me that I made the right decision about not doing the entire track because of my fitness level. So I can easily, like, I'm like a tractor. You put me in third gear, I can go all day. But if you compound that with 6 days to sometimes 7 or 8 days if the weather turns, and then extrapolate with possibly soggy clothes or dehydration or any numerous things like a twisted knee or like all those other extraneous variables that one pretends won't happen to them, I thought, no, let's pull out, let's strengthen, let's get real. Let's get real with your capability, Tash, and go again next year. So I'm going to go again next year, and I'm doing a proper plan of packing, fitness, and making sure that when I go, I'm going to have touch points with people. So like, I think it's great if you want a solo hike. Yep, absolutely do it. But have those safety mechanisms in place. So if you don't turn up to like Pelion Heart on time, or if you don't turn up to Lake Sinclair pickup point on time, like who knows where you are.
Exactly. Very, very sensible.
And don't put the rescuers in danger if you need to. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I totally understand. Many, many, many years ago, I used to do quite a bit of hiking, and I've had to really get rid of things because I found I was if I leaned forward going upwards, I got overbalanced. I just couldn't find the safely comfortable that my pack moved with me at the same time, and if I twisted suddenly, it took me so long to learn that I can't imagine these people that just pick up a pack and go. It just seems crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
So the photos I saw that you shared were absolutely stunning. So you did, I think there was a wombat or a kangaroo in one of them.
Paddy Melon, yeah.
That's it, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So do you do much hiking in Victoria?
In Victoria, I do coastal walks, and
nice.
I would describe it as hikes between 5 and 7 kilometers in and around. So it is undulating, it is rocky at times, but it is not like Tassie because we don't have that alpine immediate change of weather in the coastal areas where I'm used to. I do have the ability to go to the alpine regions in Victoria though, and that's something that I'm building into my training plan over the next year because if I want to be real about doing overnight hikes, I need to be able to do it in alpine conditions, which means taking all of the warm clothes and proper tents and being safe and being real and doing it for myself the proper way, not just thinking that I can, whim it, like take it on a whim or whatever. So
I'm really happy to hear that because I think many people would benefit from doing the same thing. We get so many call outs for people who got into trouble in Tasmania, and usually they're people that never even hiked before. Why did they think they could do this thing?
Yeah. One of the most sobering comments was from one of the Overland Track members group, who said, if you really want to know what can happen when you're a solo adventurer or ill prepared or thinking that your capability is above what it actually is, go and read this. And I followed the link, and it was a chronology, a coroner's court chronology of people that had passed away due to exposure to those alpine conditions. And
Wow.
putting yourself in the mindset of your family members or your friends, your mates, and going, okay, how real and how authentic are you being to yourself if you are doing all of this and not thinking of them,
For sure. My partner Ken and I sailed, and we sailed all around the South Pacific Islands. Two of us on a 10-meter yacht that people, when we got to any place that was with population and other people sailing, would say, "You came all the way from Australia in that?" But it was a steel boat, and Ken was a very, very competent sailor, and he taught me everything I know. And I am a very good learner when you realize if something happens to him, I have to be able to take this boat safely somewhere else. So it's amazing how much keener you learn with that at the back of your mind.
Absolutely.
So self-care is very, very important.
Well said. Well said.
So do you go with groups or mostly solo?
It's been solo, like either in Victoria or Tassie. I've done a little bit of hiking in Japan as well, in their alpine area, but they've only ever been day hikes. So, because I used to live in Japan, and they've not been in alpine, and they've not been for multiple days, day after day with that compounding fatigue. So that's something I need to prepare my body for.
That's what I was wondering. So are you going to do some longer walks, or you're just taking more difficult walks with a heavier pack to try and get your body used to it? What's your plan?
My plan moving forward is actually both streams. So I've got my PT working with me for strengthening my core, hips, and like my legs. And as I progress in strength and weight training there, I'm also going to be doing pack hikes to help me with my lower back, core, and upper back. So I can, pull. There's occasions where you'll need to pull yourself up over different rocks and pull yourself up over rocks of boulders. Really, they're not rocks, boulders the size of your fridge. So if you can get on top of your fridge, you might be able to do the Overland Track.
I don't think I'll manage.
So that's not often on the the YouTube videos glorifying what it is. Like they leave that part out because they can't video because they're too busy crawling trying to save their lives.
My upper body strength is phenomenally strong because of being on the yacht, but I'm waiting for a total knee reconstruction. And how I discovered I had to do this is we were sailing in New Caledonia on Friends' yacht. They'd lent it to us for a couple of weeks. And we went up a little, they call it Monterama, so just a mountain. And in actual fact, on the island, the mountains are called mountains because it's a hill that's bigger than everything else. And it took us about 45 minutes to get up. And I was walking with poles, and 2 hours for me to get down. And that's when my man said to me, "I don't think you can do this anymore. You better get that knee seen." And that's when we discovered, yep, bone on bone, no wonder it hurt.
Oh gosh, yep, yeah, that's.
So use it while you can. Trust me.
No, thank you. Yeah, I will definitely use it while I can. A lot of new hikers, I certainly didn't. They often think about summiting. They don't think about it's exactly the same distance on the way down. So, I'm not claiming that the Overland Track is anything like Everest or anything like that. But for some of us, it is our Everest.
And the endurance you require is phenomenal. It really is. I respect so many people who've done it.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And that level of expertise that the Overland Track actually requires is something that I respect so greatly. I want to do it justice. So if in a year's time, after all of this training, I get to the same position, I won't hesitate in pulling out again and simply doing tracks in and around, because it is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It's not wasted time.
I've definitely done a lot around the track, but not exactly the track at all. And I think the longest I've hiked with a pack is three nights and 4 days. The guys teased me like crazy. It was a Trails Club of South Africa, and it was at Tsitsikamma Forest. So it was beautiful. And at the end of the day, I took out a beer can and drank a beer, and they were horrified. You should be carrying water. I said, there's water everywhere. Yeah, I already researched that. I got offered 50 quid for my beer.
Classic. That's hilarious.
I said, if champagne came in cans, I would have brought that and said, this is my celebration for managing to do it. They thought I was crazy. But things. But you had to have all-weather gear. So many layers. And I was lucky it only rained a little bit. It didn't rain a lot.
Fantastic. I've recently signed up, even though I'm a Victorian, I've signed up to the Hobart walking group.
Oh, fabulous.
It's a club, and I'm currently a prospect member, so I need to be able to do my essential skills day and then go on particular coordinated walks with that group. And then once I've completed 3 registered walks, I can then become a member. And what attracted me to that group is that not just the fact that they take hiker safety and hiker knowledge seriously. What attracted me to the group is that they were so welcoming, that they don't mind that I'm, relatively new into the game. They're like, yeah, if you want to learn this, come play. Come be with us.
You're in the right place. Come and join us. Yeah.
And you know what? Any excuse to go back to Tassie, it is gorgeous there. The fresh air, fresh food, people are wonderful. So I'm just like, no hesitation. Let's go. Let's do it.
We're sure to give us a shout out. We're at the other end. We're in Georgetown. Yeah, but we travel a lot, so we have to coordinate if we're home.
Yeah, for sure.
I never get tired of traveling.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So do you hike even in winter when it's really cold there?
I haven't actually hiked in proper Victorian winter. Over the last 14 years, usually in winter, I will dedicate my work, like my space, to my work.
Yes.
I work for 000 Victoria, so as an operator, I'm very familiar with the needs of a rescue and things like that. So,
my goodness, you get reminders every day.
Oh yeah, I get reminders every day of the reality. But you know what? Sometimes it can be like that. It's almost like a movie, like you're vicariously living through somebody's event rather than your first person experience. So for me to step out of that environment and actually go and do it, it's still been very much an eye-opening and learning experience, because I've removed myself away from, the computers that we deal with and radio tech to actually being in it. And if anything, it's made me more empathetic to our actual rescue squads. Like Vic SES do an amazing job in what they do day in, day out. They're all volunteers, and it's just, take my hat off to them.
That's incredible. Oh, wow. What an amazing job you and all of them do, because we'd be stuck without it.
Yeah.
We have similar in Tassie, of course we do.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you certainly must have witnessed vicariously many serious things.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Over the years, multiple, sometimes, 4 or 5 a day, depending on the season. If it's walking season, summer season, you can have walkouts, rescues, all different things going on. And it's something that if you take the time to truly understand the reality of where those rescue teams are walking in the Australian bush, it's not beyond me just the efforts that they go through in order to do what they do best. It's not just about giving to community. They're giving like structured help, skilled expertise, and it's I'm enamored and just in awe of what they do, because I certainly wouldn't be able to do that if what they do. So, but that's that's my aim. I would love to be able to skill myself as a regular Tash. I would love to be able to skill myself to be able to get to that next level of being able to hike, being able to save myself, being able to just enjoy what beauty we have surrounding us.
You are one of the most sensible people I've chatted to.
Oh.
That's incredible. And I think being an eyewitness to what can go wrong would definitely sharpen up your need to make sure it doesn't happen to you.
Yeah, absolutely. You got in one, yeah.
And so when is your next, so what time of the year do you do your beach hikes, your beach walks or whatever they
Any time of year. I'm literally 10 minutes from the beach. I live in the Surf Coast Torquay area of Victoria, so I'm always out and about on the coast. every Saturday or Sunday I'll go out and about. My favorite season is autumn because I can go a little bit further, a little bit faster, and it's still comfortable.
Yes. And gosh, we've got such beautiful coastlines here in Australia.
We do.
From my accent, you'll see I come from Africa. I come from Zimbabwe, which was landlocked. So I've been climbing mountains and going in caves and diving in dams and lakes and things like that nearly all my life. And then I spent about 5 years. Each year we went, my whole family, and we had 6 weeks up the Mozambique coast. And we used to just go fishing and snorkeling and walking and everything. It's kind of, I've never stopped walking, climbing, swimming, whatever. And I just find it the most amazing thing that even in a big city, you can find places where there's hardly anyone else that walks there. Or I just shake my head and think, why must we all sit on the same spot on the beach?
Yes.
I don't like crowds. I just want to be away from them. And we were staying in Budrum this last week, and we discovered that honestly, right there in the middle of Budrum city, or if it is a city, I'm not too sure, we found a little forest with a waterfall, and it was the scent of that forest was just incredible. The walk, I had my walking pulse, it wasn't too bad, and yet it was really hardly anybody there. And I just thought, this is the weekend, why wouldn't you be bringing your kids to do this? But different things for different people. Mind you, there's an awful lot of places to go to on the Sunshine Coast, so perhaps that may be the reason. But what I liked was the isolation and the feeling that you're alone in this forest and you could take time to look at everything that grows there and sings there, and it was fabulous.
100%. Yeah.
Any advice you would give? I mean, what your whole podcast conversation has been good advice, but is there anything you'd like to say to somebody who was just thinking about, I'd love to go and become a hiker and do a really serious hike?
Make sure you know yourself. Get to know yourself. Yeah, get to know your true capabilities, not just what you can lift once or twice, like, you know, your pack once, or you can walk a couple of Ks. That's great. But what are you like when you're stressed? What are you like when you're a little bit thirsty? What are you like when you're dehydrated? What are you like when you've got compounding elements of weather and stress and, you know, nutritional needs not being met? Like what do you do in those circumstances? Can you think clearly? Do you know, or does anybody else know where you are? Like, can you actually communicate that? Or have you done yourself justice? So that's what I would say. That would be my recommendation.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time you've taken and the story you've told. If you've enjoyed listening to today's podcast, please subscribe and make sure you check out the blog with her photos and the reel that I've created. Until next time, relax, see the world, and take your time. Until next time.